Stop the war. That's what I understood.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Purnima ji, I haven't prepared for this class today, so I think I'll just listen now.
Padmaja ji, I was banking on you to give. Yeah, why? Why? What happened?
No, I couldn't do it. So.
Never mind. You can listen, but still, if you get any insights, you can please share in between. All right.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Nirmal. You think you have to unmute, I think.
Krishna wanted to, Vyasa wanted to give this power of seeing to Dhritarashtra because he is blind. He wanted to give it. But what happened was, Dhritarashtra was afraid. He didn't have the guts to face it.
Yeah.
So he said, I don't want. You know what he did? If you want, you can give it to Sanjaya, my minister. He can see and I can ask him. He said like that. So Sanjaya was given. And Sanjaya is a person who is very equanimous. He was the real person who really benefited from the Gita. Another thing is the battle was already over 10 days. Bhishma had fallen. After this, he's asking this question. It was not in the beginning. He's asking. Bhishma is already down. Now he is getting scared. Now he's asking, Sanjaya, what's happening there? What's happening to my sons, my sons? And what's happening to Pandavas? Here itself he has separated Pandavas and my son. He wants his own sons to win desperately. So he's saying, what's happening to my son now that Bhishma has fallen? They were all resting on Bhishma's powers. Now that Bhishma has fallen, what's happening to my sons and what's happening to Pandavas? So this is the state of affairs. The restlessness, the eagerness. That's how he, that's the question. No. So these 10 days, he was comfortable. They said, Arey, Bhishma will do the trick. We will win the war. Bhishma is in our side. He is the one. He is very strong. The moment he fell down is the time he gets this fear and restlessness. This is the question. That's when he asked Sanjaya, what is really happening in the war? So when the first chapter, when Arjuna says, I don't want to fight this war.
This is the first chapter, the first verse, no, Nirmala ji?
No. Towards the end, Towards the end, I will just say a small thing. Towards the end, when he is putting this thing down, he says, no. This is a flashback going on. No, this is a flashback. Because he has come, the war has already happened 10 days. But for him, this is a flashback going. At that time, he's asking, as he is narrating, Sanjaya is narrating, he says, Arjuna put Arjuna put this thing down. He didn't want to fight. Oh, so he doesn't want to fight. Huh? Oh, he doesn't want to fight. Huh? Oh, okay. Then there is no war, no? He couldn't take that decision. But he wants the war to stop. So that is.
See, I didn't know about this flashback because it has a logical flow to it. So I'm not, I don't know. I will have to, did you get it from somewhere? Because Sanjaya starts with the two parties have assembled on the war field, and then Arjuna is now telling Krishna to take his chariot somewhere to the middle of the field, and now he's looking at both the parties. Now Arjuna is putting down his bow and arrow. That is how it progresses. It seems to be in the present tense, So I'm not sure
No,
about
when it is
that.
the flashback,
Mm-hmm.
Sanjaya is starting from the beginning what he is seeing
Ah. Okay.
and telling
Acha.
he was not interested in the war because he was sure Bhishma will protect them and we will win the war.
Mm-hmm.
He was not interested.
Mm-hmm.
Now suddenly he is interested because Bhishma has fallen. Now what happens?
I don't know if there is any indication to say that Bhishma has fallen and now he is asking, because if you look at the words, it says, Kim akurvata yuyutsavaha, they are eager to fight. Yuyutsavaha is the word which indicates that these guys are eager to fight and have assembled. Now what are they doing? There is no indication in Dhritarashtra's question that already this party has lost so many Akshohini Sainyas, these people have lost so many Maharathis, and none of it is there. I don't know, Nirmalaji. I need to.
Okay, you find out.
I don't know. Does anybody else have to share anything about this? About whether it's a flashback or whether it's the present tense? It's a very good point, which I would love to clarify with Prabhuji. Shall we do that? Yeah?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Then Pratibhaji, you have to share your understanding.
Yesterday I was busy with classes, four, 5 classes, madam. So Stotramala, Shiva Panchakshari Stotramala with Manjula Atri, madam. And then, so I was busy. So next time I will tell, madam. Definitely.
Yeah, all of us, we need to prepare for class. Otherwise, it will become a one-way communication, which is no fun.
No, madam.
And the inputs from everybody should be very interesting. I mean, it adds value to the class. See how Nirmalaji has brought a new dimension. I'm really keen to know what's happening there. Huh? Raina, have you contemplated on this shloka? Do you want to
I will tell, miss. Definitely.
yeah, all of us. Okay, we have to contribute.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. So
It is a lot of fun if you can tell the inside story.
Yeah.
Reading Bhagavadgita routine, it is boring.
We need to, I mean, that's the whole point, Allah. We have to understand what is happening here.
And then there is life and it becomes so juicy.
Yes, absolutely. So if you permit me, I would like to share.
I have a doubt.
Yeah, Raina, yes.
Why was Rishma fighting on the side of the Kauravas?
Why was Bhishma fighting on the, oh my God, this will take a lifetime. This is the story of the Mahabharata. So we have come to the climax of it, Raina. So, I mean, he was the commander-in-chief of the Kuru army. So that's why he was there, right?
Because he took that oath that he had
He had taken a terrible vow that, as long as he's alive, he is going to stay a bachelor and he's going to protect the throne of Hastinapura. So whoever sits on the throne, bad guy, good guy, whoever it is, I'm going to protect the king. That was his terrible vow, right? So unfortunately, he found himself on the wrong side, on the side of adharma.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the grand setting of the Kurukshetra. And if you see the words there, it is called Dharmakshetra Kurukshetra. So that is a very critical word. Why is it called the Dharmakshetra? So according to Puranas and in the Vedic times, apparently it is mentioned that Kurukshetra was a place of pilgrimage. It was a very holy land where many illustrious kings ruled. And, that Chandravamsha, all the kings ruled there in the Kurukshetra. And it was a place of pilgrimage. And in this context, definitely it was a place of pilgrimage where Narayana himself is standing there to give the greatest teaching of, for mankind of all times, isn't it? Definitely it is a Dharmakshetra in that context. Then is Kurukshetra. The Kurukshetra is the name of the place, but it also now it stands for a battlefield. Now, because of the whole thing that happened, so it is like Kurukshetra is where the battle has happened. Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra. And what is the teaching given by Narayana? It is for life itself. And so Sanjaya, the disciple of Vyasa, who has the divine vision, and he is giving us a running commentary of what's happening in the battle of life itself. And so this is a very clever way of presenting the whole of the Gita to us. Vedavyasa has, done this so beautifully, so that the message of the Gita reaches the entire mankind, humankind. And like Nirmala ji said, even though Dhritarashtra was getting the immediate live commentary from a person sitting next to him, the whole message of the Gita was lost on this blind king. So the blindness of Dhritarashtra is very significant here. So it is metaphorical blindness. He was blind to the truth. He was blind to dharma. He was blinded by attachment to his sons, to his 100 sons. He was attached, that moha, blind attachment to the throne of Hastinapura. How he coveted it, when Pandu was given charge, he couldn't bear it. I am the elder son, and here the throne is going to my younger brother, just because I am blind. Of course, Dhritarashtra was completely competent as a warrior, even though he was blind. Apparently, he was extremely good warrior. However, there are some requirements of how a king should be, and so his blindness was got in the way. And from then, he's been resenting the Pandu and his children. And he allowed all sorts of atrocities to happen to them, isn't it? So he is the blind king Dhritarashtra. Also, the name Dhruta is very firm, kapi mushti, the tight fist. He has that kapi mushti, and who is holding on to the throne, Rashtra, Dhritarashtra, the one who is not willing to give up his kingdom. That is the significance of his name, Dhritarashtra. Very, very tightly he is holding on to the throne, Dhritarashtra. And of course, his children. So Dhritarashtra, that is the significance of the name. And why are we in this setting in the first place? It is not just about Arjuna's Vishada. It is all the Vishada of the whole of humankind. So it is said that there are 3 types of suffering which all of us face: Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, and Adi Daivika. Isn't it? We have heard of all these terms. What are the 3 kinds of Vishadas that all of us face, like Arjuna did? Adi, Adhyatmika, is the immediate personal one. Adhyatmika is the personal suffering that we go through because of our body and mind. We have a physical problem, we have an emotional problem, we have mental problems, we have perception problems, we have ego problems, we have desires, we have all sorts of expectations from life. When these are not met, we get into Adhyatmika problems, mental and physical problems, which is very, very personal to us, and which is the only real problem. The other Bhautika and Daivika are the other ones which supplement this Adhyatmika problem. So Adhyatmika is the personal problems that we have. First kind of suffering. Here, Arjuna is afflicted by this Adhyatmika problem. I have to fight the war. What will I do? He is completely self-centered, and he is looking at the whole thing with his perspective of how he is being compromised in this whole game. That is one. The second one is Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhautika is the problem which comes from other living beings in Sanskrit, the people who surround us. And a very quaint description is given, Adi Bhautika, in the Sanskrit text. It says, other living beings, namely lions and tigers. So I think we can replace lions and tigers with probably mosquitoes and rats. And other living beings, the people who surround us, our immediate relatives, the society. Yes, of course, we have a lot of problems which we think comes from these entities. Ultimately, it is the problem of the self, but we attribute these problems to, because of so and so, because of such and such, I'm facing these problems in life. Arjuna is doing the same here. So he's attributing the whole thing to, the others, all these great Maharathis who has been my uncle, my uncles, my gurus, my brothers. So he has got this again, it is going in various directions. And then Adi Daivika is the problems that we face from the environment, from nature. Adi Daivika, the forces of nature, the tsunamis, the floods, the droughts, the untimely monsoons, and because of which the vegetable prices go up, and tomatoes being thrown on the roads because of too much crop. All these imbalances in nature create a lot of problems for us. Corona, COVID, it has thrown life out of gear for us, for the whole world, for around 2 years. So this is Adi Daivika, which is not really under our control, but we are subject to all the problems that come with it. So these are the 3 kinds of suffering that that has been spelled out, and all of us suffer from all 3. But finally, it comes down to Adhyatmika, how I respond to these problems, how I relate to these problems. And that is very, very critical. Ultimately, it comes to me. My understanding of life is very critical of how I deal with these situations, isn't it? So here Arjuna is in that position of not knowing what's happening. And so he's suffering from all these 3 bhautikas, Adi Bhautika, Daivika, and Adhyatmika problems. And so, just as an aside, the reason why we chant Om Shanti 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 3 times is that we should have Shanti on all the 3 kinds of, problems that we have in life. That's an aside. And so, one more point about what is this Dharmakshetra. Dharmakshetra indicates to the fact that our whole, why are we on this? Why are we born? This is the holy place of Dharmakshetra. Earth, Bhuloka, is the place where we come to get rid of our karmas. That is the understanding that the Vedas give us, isn't it? So there are 7 lokas, there are 14 lokas in all, 7 below and 7 above. Earth is right in the center, the Bhuloka is right in the center. And this is the only place where a human being has a chance to redeem himself or herself. The balance of the karmas that one brings into the world, it can be resolved only here on earth. The other planes are either for suffering or for enjoyment. The heavens are for enjoying the punya karmas that we accrue on what we do here. And the lower planes, the patalas, the narakas, are the places where we have to undergo get rid of the papa karmas. Even then, not completely. There is something left, and so we come back to earth. There is some punya left, so we come back to earth. And here we have to balance them out, cancel both the papa and punya. How? That is what Krishna is going to tell us. So the earthly plane, that human life, is a Dharmakshetra. And the Vedas have given us a very detailed roadmap of how one has to go about living, conducting one's life. I'm sure all of us are familiar with the Pancha Yagnas that are recommended for a human being who is born on earth. How to conduct. See, the Vedas are full of 3 sections. The Brahmanas, the Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. The Brahmanas is all about ritual, all about karma kanda. How are we supposed to live life? It is a complete user manual of how we should live. So the Pancha Yagnas recommended for man. Let us use the word man because we are used to using it. For woman also, of course. So the Pancha Yagnas is Bhuta Yagna, Pitra Yagna, Manusha Yagna, Deva Yagna, and Rishi Yagna. These are the 5 kinds of yagnas. Yagna means a sacrifice, not necessarily a sacrifice is a fire sacrifice. Any tapas, any sadhana is called a yagna. isn't it? So these pancha yagnas are interwoven into a daily life of a Sanatana Dharmi. It is specifically given for Sanatana Dharma, means it is an eternal dharma which every human being should follow. Unfortunately, now it is confined to what we call as the Hindus, which is a very recent nomenclature. There is no sect called Hindus as such. However, the Sanatana Dharmis are supposed to follow these pancha yagnas. So first one is the Manushya yagna, is how we relate, how we take care of the people in our life, feeding the poor, serving the needy, doing some, that is a yagna, offering alms to the poor and all that. That is the Manushya yagna. And Pitra yagna is how we take care of the elders in our family, living, and those who have gone, those who have, see, it is said that the punyas that we, the blessing of the Pitrus, that we enjoy whatever little punyas that we have. Literally also, the place we live, our house, our families, our relatives, everything comes from Pitrus, isn't it? So how we take care of the Pitrus, that is called Pitru yagna, always with gratitude, always with a sense of, thank you for giving me this opportunity to serve you, that kind of thing. And those who have gone, of course, we have some ceremonies that we continuously remember the Pitrus and offer our gratitude to them during the time of the Pitru Paksha and the Shraddhas that we do. So yeah, all these yagnas are given to this. So Manushya yagna, Pitru yagna, Bhuta yagna, that is how we take care of the environment around us. We don't pollute the environment, we don't pollute air. That is why in our dharma, we worship almost everything. The hills, the water, the plants, the dogs, the cats, everything, the mouse. I mean, isn't it fantastic how in our culture, the Bhuta Ganas, the whole environment is so revered, isn't it? It's a wonderful culture if we care to think more deeply about it. And we do namaskara to paper Saraswati if we stamp on it. See, that is the culture. This is the Bhuta Yajna that we do. And it serves us well to remember it at all times. So this is the Bhuta Yajna that we do. And that is the culture being imparted in a secular way to our children also. Don't pollute the environment, or don't do this, don't do that. Discard your masks properly, dry weight, west weight, so many things. All this is Bhuta Yajna. And then we have the Deva Yajna, which is specific to our kind of culture, where we do these rituals to propitiate the gods. The subtle gods, the gross gods are our, the water, the air, and the Panchabhutas. The gross elements are the, we do that, the Bhuta Yajna. The subtler ones, the subtle gods, which control these elements, they are the Devas. So it is very specific to our culture, where Varuna is the Devata for water, and Agni is the Devata for fire, for the heat element, Surya Devata. All these Devatas which are specified, we continuously, we propitiate them in any kind of rituals that we do. If we have done any Homa, Yagna, Havana, we know that, we invoke the Devata and we do the Yagnas. So Agni Hotras. So all these are prescribed for people who care to do it. So that is the Deva Yagna. Apart from these four important yagnas, the most important and the most indispensable is the Rishi Yagna, also called the Gnana Yagna. The Gnana Yagna. So Gnana Yagna is what we are doing right now. The Gnana Yagna is all about understanding the purpose of life. Gnana. So it is also what the Vedas say is, Vedanta says is, all the suffering, all the three kinds of suffering, they come because of one problem, which is not Adhyatmika, not Adibhatika, not by me, not by the environment, not by the people around me. It is because of Agnana. Agnana is the root cause of misery. And what is the solution? Jnana. So the Gnana Yagna is considered to be the most auspicious and the most important and the most indispensable form of Oh, it's already 8 o'clock. Oh, indispensable form of yajna that we have to undertake, which we are doing by studying the Bhagavad-gita. The Prasthanastrayas, if you remember, the Bhagavad-gitas, the Vedant, the Upanishads, and the Brahma Sutras. These are the 3 canons of jnana that we have. The Bhagavad-gita is the most beautiful and the most accessible and the most understandable and the simplest form of jnana yajna that we can undertake, which Narayana himself is giving us the jnana about how to make our life a Dharmakshetra, the field of righteous action. That is the Dharmakshetra. Let us not make it a Kurukshetra. And this comes only with jnana, which Narayana himself is giving. Yes, this is the basic of the setting of the whole grand setting of the Kurukshetra, where a lot of drama, melodrama, climax, everything is going to happen. And so the blind king holding on to his kingdom, and yes, the Pandavas is not considered his children at all. And by the way, one more aside before we conclude for the day, Adi Shankara has not given a commentary to this first chapter of the Gita. He said this is all about crying, I, me, myself. He is going on and on about, Arjuna is going on about his problems in life, which we all of us do. We love, somebody has to ask us, hey, how are you? And we start off, isn't it? So that's exactly the psychology which is being displayed by Arjuna, the great warrior Arjuna. Who are we? Yakkaschit, what are we in front of that great warrior who had Narayana by his side from childhood as a mentor or as a friend, as a everything. So let us not belittle ourselves. All of us are in the same boat. So tirno khalu pandavai, because our Kaivartaka Keshava. Now we have gone, we have surrendered to Keshava, and he is going to take us across the samsara of the choppy waters of, life. All right. So this is the
Purnimaji, whatever you told now, about Shankaracharya.
Huh.
So he has told himself or through some words?
No, he has not told Allah. He has not, see, his Bhashya, Shankara's Bhashya is the most famous and most, for Vedantins, it is the go-to text for Mahabharata, right? For Bhagavad-gita. Shankaracharya has not given commentary for chapter 1 at all. His commentary starts from chapter 2, shloka number 10, which is when Krishna started speaking. Because the jnana part, Shankara was very, very clear. He had utter contempt for all. He was a jnani. And he had a contempt for all our, petty thoughts. He said, let me go straight to what Krishna is telling. Straight to the jnana part.
Okay.
That is the, setting that he said it's fine. All of us know what's wrong with us. That's it. So most of the Bhashyakaras have not written for the first chapter. Especially Shankara has not written.
He was a focused guy about Advaita. He was a focused guy about Advaita.
Totally. He had no time. He just lived for 32 years. He had a lot to accomplish. Rather than dwell on our problems, he said, let me go to the solution straight away. All right. So next class. Yeah, let's log out. It's time.
Namaste and Hari Om. Thank
yes,
you
yes,
everyone
Hari
for
Om.
the wonderful
Yes.
insight.
Thank you.
Looking forward to next Saturday.
Yes. Thank you so much. Let's stop with a quick prayer. Please feel free to log out. Yes, anything else anyone wants to share? Padmaja, anyone wants to share anything? Padmaja, did you?
I think. Thank you.
Yeah. So let us please, Raina, please let us all make an effort to come prepared for the class. It will be nice, to have inputs from everyone. Nirmala ji, thank you so much for your, and Kamala, everyone. It was nice. You are free to pitch in and, offer your comments also. If I'm saying something which is not in line with your thinking, we should discuss it. Pratibha ji, yes?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. It was very nice.
Just starting, madam.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Let us chant Asatoma Sadgamaya and close for the day. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti 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 Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Sachidanandatma Shivananu Nane Shivoham Shivoham Shivoham. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am pure consciousness, Shiva. All right. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. All right, we'll see next week, and I shall specify the shlokas that we should add 2 more so that we have a nice buffer. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.